All right, guys. Hi, welcome. It is May 11th, Energize Chat, and I'm excited to come on here and share a little bit with you guys today, but I'm going to mute all of you. I'm also going to ask, see, she's pressing buttons. Questions. Oh my gosh. This is mom life, guys. No. We'll go over here where you can't touch it. There. Give me a thumbs up if you can still hear me. Thank you. Okay. Hello. You guys, I'm just so excited to be on here today. Don't move the chair. Oh. All right. First things first, you guys. Awesome job on this week. So many coaches getting added to our team. Awesome job for Crystal adding your first coach. Congratulations. Jessica is not able to make on this call. She added 2 coaches in the last couple of days. So she'll be going Emerald on Thursday, which is amazing. And so I'm just super, super proud of you guys. First, I want to talk about Summit. And so some of you are registered for that, which is amazing, but something to strongly consider. It's July 11th through the 14th. It's our annual event in Indianapolis. I will be driving from Minnesota. And we have a place to stay, extra room. So if anybody else is going to go, we have a place for you to stay. And so it's just you getting yourself there, either driving or flying. And if you're from Minnesota, let me know because we have 1 extra space yet. But I'm really, really excited. It's an amazing training event, you guys. Seriously, it is so, so, so good. Beachbody goes all out when it comes to events and recognition, and we're going to be in the Lucas Oil Stadium. So every year it's in an NFL stadium for the main events and everything, and then the training's at the convention center, which is right next to it. So it was in Indianapolis last year, and it was awesome. So I get really excited to find out where it's going to be the following year. I'm really hoping to go back to Nashville because I know they went there right before I joined, and I love Nashville. So I'd love to go to Nashville again. So that's the first thing I wanted to let you guys know. We do have a new coach training starting on Monday. So if you are someone that is new to the team and would love to be plugged into that, essentially what we do is go over this business activity tracker inside there with daily tasks for you to do. So this is open to our entire downline. So not only my personally sponsored coaches, but all coaches that join the team as well. So I will be sharing about that in the team page, I believe. And so just comment below or send me a message if you want to get plugged into that. And if you've already gone through it, you don't need to go through it again. You essentially just need to be doing your daily activities to move your business forward depending on what your goals are. And so today I really wanted to touch on inviting and follow-up, because those are the 2 biggest things that will move your business forward, and it's the hardest thing for everyone to do. So I just wanted to touch base on that, and then I'm going to go around and ask you guys how it's going maybe with the inviting process, just so we can walk through this to be able to help you overcome any fears that you have or anything like that. And so lately, the Beachbody Champions page, if you are not in that group, you guys, you need to be in that group. It's Beachbody Corporate providing trainings for us to be able to help us. And so every week they've been doing an action hour with a coach that has had success. And this last week, her name is Heather Shipley, and I've watched it twice now, and I'm going to watch it again. And when I say watch, you guys, I'm essentially listening to it while I'm doing other things. So whether that be folding laundry, doing the dishes, taking a shower, I always kind of find it kind of weird when I'm listening to a training by a guy when I'm taking a shower, but that's what I'm doing when I'm trying to listen to these trainings. And I'm writing down things here and there with a notebook that I carry around. But she goes over how she essentially invites and what is unique about, what we do. What works for one person may not work for you because it's not your style. It doesn't speak to you. But that's why it's good to hear how everyone else is doing it, okay? So for example, Heather Shipley, when she invites, and this is what I did last fall when I was heavily inviting because I was getting a lot of followers on my page, is as soon as they liked my page, I sent them an invite. If anybody likes my post, it depends on where you are in the conversation, but I was just inviting everybody. And that works for some people, but if you ever get a message that is icky to you, then don't do that to somebody else, essentially. So for example, what frustrates me is someone will add me as a friend on Facebook. And I'm like, oh, and I see based on I don't know the person. I know they're just trying to grow their network, which I've done as well. But I see they do something as a side hustle. And I accept their friend, and literally the next day I get a message about whatever it is that they're doing. And I'm like, okay, I don't even know you. And so I don't like that type of message. And so I have never done that on Facebook, but on Instagram, I essentially have my brand, what I do, it is all stated there. My profile states exactly what I do. You can tell that I help people for a living. And so when new people come to my page, I don't send them an invite right away. I wait till I'm starting to interact with them. Now, the national wake-up call, not this last week, or maybe it was the week before, is that guy. I forget his name. But he talked about his inviting process and how, yeah, he gets new likes on his page. He sends them a welcome message, essentially welcoming them to his page. And then, you know, another touch point, he asks a question, another touch point 2 weeks later, he has like a system. And then 2 weeks after that, he sends an invite. So essentially, he's building that relationship very, very fast. But by the third touch point, he is sending them an invite just because he's sharing what is working for him. And so that's two different styles right there. There's someone like Amber, she's and I do it more like Amber now, whereas I have people in my collections, I'm interacting, I'm spending 20 to 30 minutes a day, you know, going through my collections and just commenting on people's posts, commenting on their stories. If they always have stories, I'm always sending them a message based on one of their stories, just because with Instagram and the algorithms, when you're having direct messages in the background, they know that. And so then they show each other your stuff more. But I'm building that relationship first, and then I'll send them an invite. For me, it is way more comfortable for me to send an invite to the coaching opportunity. I know that that's not for everyone, but for me, it is, because that's how I came in. I came in because of the business opportunity, but I also knew, like, if this stuff could help me, it could help other people, and it did. Like, my life was changed within the second week of using Shakeology, this community. I couldn't get enough of it. And so, but I knew that this could be something that could help us on our debt-free journey if I loved it. And so that's why I invite to the business opportunity, because that's what spoke to me, and that's who I'm going to find my people. If you came in here and you love the products and challenge group, then invite to a challenge group. You got to do whatever feels right to you and works for you. So that's the whole inviting method that maybe you use, is do what works for you. If you want to invite everybody that likes your page the very first time without ever having a conversation with them, go for it if you are okay with that. I am also one of those people, though, I don't like to beat around the bush. I don't like to be all like, hey, I love your dog, what kind of breed is it, or anything like that. But I do like to kind of get to know someone, because I can tell if they're already into fitness, then I would invite them to the coaching opportunity over a challenge group. But if I'm having a conversation with them and they're telling me how they're struggling with something, then I'm like, okay, well, then I'm going to invite them to a challenge group, which a challenger of mine, that's exactly what happened. We were talking and she was explaining to me how she was struggling, and I invited her to my challenge group, and she eventually joined. And then there's someone like Bailey, who's a coach on our team. I was having a conversation with her, and she was telling me she hated her job, and because we're both accountants. And so then I invited her to the business opportunity, because that totally made sense. She was already into fitness. She loved working out. She already did personal development. She was like one of those people like, of course you should be a coach. You're already doing everything. Now you just share and invite. So whatever speaks to you in that conversation, that's what you just do, okay? So then the next thing I want to cover is when you are, when it comes to inviting, what they even talked about this, Heather Shipley did on the Beachbody Champions page. If you're finding it hard to struggle, or I'm sorry, if you're finding it hard to invite, you need to look at what it is that, how is your own journey going? And you got to make it more about them and not about you, okay? And so if you are struggling in your own journey, if you are not being proof the product works, then of course it is harder for you to invite, because you're not being consistent yourself. That is what I have found, even on my own journey. And that's what other coaches have said as well. And because when you think about it, you guys, if this has truly changed your life, if this community is as amazing as you say it is, if Take Back the Kitchen is as awesome as you love it, if Shakeology has helped in so many ways, any other supplement you are taking, if that truly has benefited your life, then you share it with like enthusiasm and excitement. And you don't have your emotions in it, because if someone says no, well, that's just fine. It's just not meant for them. I compare it to my Yum Box lunchboxes, you guys. I share those all the time on Instagram stories, because everybody asks me what brand they are, where they're from. I get that all the time. And so I'm always sharing about it. Do I get a kickback from Yum Box? Nope. But do you know how many messages just yesterday, because I went to the zoo and I packed them twice, I got 3 different messages asking me what they were, and then they wrote back and said, I just ordered some. I don't get anything from Yumbox lunchboxes. I would share them if I was a rep for them or whatever it is, but it's like the same exact thing, you know, like for Shakeology, I don't share the name because I do want to create curiosity with people, and I want them to ask me questions because they could just go Google Shakeology if they wanted to. But Yumbox, I'm totally okay with just sharing that name. I actually usually just tag it, and some people totally miss it and they'll still send me a message. But sometimes I intentionally don't tag it because I want them to send me a message and ask me, because it just creates a conversation then. But that's exactly the same thing. Yumbox lunches boxes have saved me so much money. They are amazing. And I love that I'm able to pack my kids a healthy meal for lunch or whatever it may be. And so it's just like the same thing. It's something that works for us and our family, and I'm sharing about it, and people are benefiting from it now if they need it in their life. Same thing for this community, same thing for these products, and same thing for the workouts. They are working for me, and they've benefited my life. They've benefited your lives and everybody else in our challenge group and on our team. And sharing about it is very natural for me because I truly believe in it, okay? And so if you are struggling, I would love for you to just pick a program, do it start to finish, go all in, because your enthusiasm, your excitement, and everything else, it will be hard for you not to share about it, okay? If you think back to a time, if you've been a challenger for a while, or if you've been a challenger just for 3 months, you know, when you first joined, how excited were you? And it's like the newlywed stage, I like to call it. So just look at where you're at on your own journey, because obviously first and foremost, we have to be working on ourselves. Are you doing personal development, and are you being proof the product works? And then inviting should come very natural, or it shouldn't be as scary or difficult as we make it out to be. So that's what I wanted to go, when it comes to inviting. Now I want to go around and ask you guys how inviting is actually going for you. Like, what do you struggle with when it comes to it? Just because I just want to talk it through, and then we can ask, or I can answer your questions. So I'm going to start with Ashley. You're right in the center of my screen. I unmuted you.
All right. Good morning, everybody. So this week's been a really interesting week for me. It feels like a really slow week. However, when I was reflecting yesterday, I really was off social media a lot yesterday. I was not very present, and I was going to bed thinking, gosh, did I like sabotage my hard work? But that's besides the point. So I listened to the Monday, the National Wake Up Call, and he talks a lot about how his first message to his cold market is, hi, I'm David. My wife is so-and-so. I think he said 3 girls. I'm a police officer. He tells them about themselves. And I was like, that is so simple. I was not doing that. I was trying to find something about them that I was like, hey, fun to follow your page. I like this. You know, this is what I do. And I went immediately into health and wellness. So this week for my cold market, I took his message just to try it. And so anybody who followed me or people that were liking my pages or my stories, if I had not messaged them at all, I have a generic message now. And it's basically his, but about me. What I found is I had so many more people respond back to me. So many more. I mean, I was getting almost everybody I was sending a message to reply something back, and they would tell me their story, which was, oh, hi, nice to meet you. I'm so-and-so, and it'll be fun to follow each other. And so nothing about fitness, nothing about challenge groups, nothing about coaching, but I was like, oh my gosh, I already started these conversations. And then what I also found is I've been really having a hard time organizing myself at who I'm talking to and who I've already reached out to. And I feel like right now I'm trying to invite or talk to 20 to 30 people a day. And I'm like, I just wasn't organized. And so doing it his way, I was able to just write all their names down. Those that responded to me, I just highlighted. Those that have not responded to me, I put like a little dot because I'm going to follow up with them still. And then mean to me, so I would cross them out. And so next week I plan to respond back to I did respond back to those that responded to me that felt like the conversation should continue to go. But those that just responded with, oh, hi, nice to meet you, I'm going to follow up next week, like he mentioned. It's cold market. Warm market, Bridget and I were having a conversation this week, and she challenged me to go into my warm market and do a little bit more inviting, which I was really scared to do. And so that's via Facebook. I started reaching out to good friends, people that I have not talked to about this business yet. I originally made a generic message, but I would start the conversation with, hey, Lisa, it's been so long. I haven't talked to you since high school. How are you? Whatever. And then I kind of told a story. I said, I'm sure you've seen, my new journey and my fitness journey, my health and wellness journey. And I said, and I used Bridget's line, but I was like, if you go to Target and you buy a cute dress and you want to share it for everybody else, all the moms who want pocket dresses or whatever, I've decided that what I'm doing is worth sharing, just like something from Target. And so I want to share with you more what I'm doing. If you're interested, please let me know. And what I found is most everybody is responding with, no, I'm not interested, but I'm loving watching your journey. And I think only about 3 people have not responded back. And what I realized is after that, I was like, oh, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Hope you're doing well, and thinking that that's it. And even more of them have said, yep, keep it up. You're so positive. So I'm like, oh, they are watching. So even though it's a no, it's not a no forever. So I guess I felt like even though yesterday I had like an off social media day and was going to bed a little nervous, not nervous, just like, did I not work enough today? I actually think that I had more of a productive week, even without yesterday and without anybody signing up, because I feel like I've just made more authentic connections. So both of those things. And then I don't know if we talk about it, but I have this whole stop giving exclamation marks, which I'm trying to do. And I'll let Bridget talk a little bit more about that maybe. But we both listened to something how like all these exclamation marks makes us look really salesy. And I was like, oh, I put like 10 after everything. So gonna calm that down a little bit.
Yeah, Heather Shipley in the Beachbody Champions page talks about that. And she's like, it's certain words are good words to use when you're talking to somebody, but a bunch of exclamation points sounds very salesy, I guess. And I'm like, I use exclamation points all the time. And the funny thing is I'll use it even in text to like my brother, and he'll respond back like, stop yelling at me. I'm like, no, it's just my excitement. Like, that's just what I do. Yeah. And so when I challenged Ashley to do that, it's because I've talked about some of this to some of you guys. But if you were to open a store on the corner of a street and in 30 to 60 days you had a rent payment due or a loan payment, you would be messaging all your family and friends, telling them about this new business adventure you're on. And the beauty in our business is that it literally costs you $160 to start your business. You don't have a rent payment due or anything like that. But yet we hold back the excitement we have of sharing and starting this new business. And so when I first joined, I wrote down every Facebook friend. I looked through my whole phone. I sent text messages to my friends and just shared about what I was doing. And did they join? No. Were they watching more? Yes. And did they eventually join later? Yes. Some of them, my warm market is still out there, but that's exactly what I did because I was so excited and it was something new I was doing and I wanted to share about it. And with your warm market, you already have that trust build with them. And so I think it's totally okay to just message them and share it with them because it truly is, if it has changed your life, then it could change someone else's as well. What's the worst that's going to happen? They'll say no. You won't die. Nothing else will happen. We shouldn't live in fear of what other people think. But definitely, I encourage you guys to, if you have not, it doesn't matter how long you've been part of this business. If you haven't messaged your warm market or direct friends or family, I encourage you to do so. And I'm still doing that. Like my cousin is like 24 and I finally was like, I need to message her. And so I did. And so I sent her information because she was open to hearing about it. So
the other thing too, I found too with the warm market is you do need those trust. And a lot of like my warm market were people from high school that I haven't talked to. And most of them responded with, it's so good to hear from you. We should connect more. And like, that's a win in the friends department. But it was like, if I would have never reached out to them, they probably wouldn't have reached out to me because it has been so long and somebody has to initiate that conversation.
Yes, exactly. All right. I'm going to go with Joanna next. Hi.
Hi. Yeah, I'm struggling a bit with inviting. I don't know, it's just, I'm not comfortable with it yet. And I don't know, it's just, if I've had like with like in the past with other things that people have invited me to, and it's just maybe the way they've done it, and it's kind of, that's what I'm afraid of, because like I just had one girl, I don't know if she was doing It Works or what she was doing, but she was trying me like, hey, do you want to do this for me, and then you'll get entered to win in some makeup thing. And I want to be like, I don't even like makeup, or like just the way she did it kind of like threw me off. And I've had that in the past too. So I think that's just, it makes me nervous. And again, I like Ashley's approach where be more like yourself, which maybe that's what I have to do instead of being like, hey, come join this. Like, just again, explain what's worked for me. And I mean, I've been doing this for a while now, and it's, I mean, I do it daily and enjoy it and enjoy posting about it. And two, I've, from people that I wouldn't have even thought were following me or watching me, said, I really enjoy your daily posts. And I said, well, I appreciate that. And it's something I enjoy doing, and I enjoy sharing what I do on a daily basis. And if people want to watch it, great. And if they don't, I guess then that's, I mean, they don't have to. But it's just, I think it's going to be that initial one. And I've been working more on some of the warm market with family and close friends, which I think once they getting that initial thing there is going to help too. But it's getting over that hump, which I'm struggling with.
So I would say then for you, like even when you have new people, new friends, even in your market that like or view your stories on Instagram, or if you're you are posting to Facebook, so like on there too, just sending them a message thanking them for their support, because it starts a conversation, but you're not inviting them to anything, you're just thanking them. And if it's also more comfortable for you, I did this in the beginning as well, you guys, is run a free group. Just a Facebook group, and do it on meal prep, because you're a rock star at that, Joanna. And so you could, and if it's easier for you to invite to a free group, and then in the free group, you can have a background conversation with those people and just say, okay, like my next group starts on this day if you want to join, if you've enjoyed this meal prep group or whatever it is. And so running a quick 3 to 5 day free group, it's easy for people to invite to, and then also they get to know you a little bit more and what this lifestyle is that you're leading, and then they'll watch more. But you can then, after the group is over, just have more conversation, asking for feedback on how it went, and see if they're interested in joining your actual challenge group then.
Okay.
So just an idea for you, because that's what I did in the beginning, is I did a lot of free groups on a monthly basis. I would do a free group. Did I have a lot of turnover from it, or like join? No, but I think they were watching more, and I built more trust with them to eventually join down the road though as well.
Mm-hmm. Sounds good. Thank you.
Yep. All right. I'm going to go Angela.
Hey.
Hi.
Hey. I have, hearing others talk, I have 3 things I think to talk about. Number one is, I know you said message anybody new followers you have. I get some weird followers.
Then don't message them.
Okay, yeah, that's the thing. I'm like, I don't really want to message these middle-aged guys that are following me.
Oh gosh, no! I would block them.
Yeah, that's what I do. But I'm like, it says, so I've figured that. And then just like some random people, like if I follow them, they follow me back. Just send them a message, like.
Yeah, just say thank you so much for following my journey, and then just like Ashley said, you could explain a little bit about yourself, and then just ask a question.
Okay.
And if it doesn't feel comfortable inviting them right away, but a lot of people I found when I used to invite right away based on followers, they would be like, well, you followed me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But no, it's just starting up the conversation of just like, hey, thank you for following my journey. My name is Angela, and just sharing about what you do, your mom before, and then asking them a question, trying to get to know them.
Yeah. And then the other thing was, so I started in my warm markets. That's where I started off first. And I've had great response to everybody. Loves it. I mean, I get comments daily like, oh, I love your post. It's amazing. And then I like reach out to them and it's like silent. I'm like, what's going on? You love everything I'm doing. You want to see my meal preps. Because I've been doing, so I keep my Instagram, like it's mainly my kids and stuff. That's like my document of things I don't want to forget about them. But I've been doing more of my stories. So I don't know, maybe if I need to combine the two or what. But in my stories, I always get, I do the polls and I show my meal preps and people seem so interested and I get messages. I love following and all this stuff. And I message back and then nothing. I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
what do I do?
And that just happens because they're just not at a place yet that maybe they're ready to hear about it or join, but they're going to continue to watch and eventually they will. But I would combine the two, like, just because people that watch your stories sometimes don't see the feed. Like, there's some people that are just story watchers, and then there's some people that are just feed people. And so I combine the two, my family and stories and on my feed and vice versa with fitness and health and wellness and everything else that explains me, like debt freedom and stuff. Just because I want to show it in all areas. And stories, I feel like, give the behind the scenes look of our life and what it's like for people. So it's just outside of health and fitness too. They get to know you a little bit more, especially those cold market people. Obviously your warm market people know who you are. But what I would do is those people that you've messaged and they just like stop is like each month maybe following up with them when you do have a new group going. And just sharing results that either you have had or your husband or somebody else that's just sharing the results that they have had. Not essentially a before and after, but just saying like, combined we, have more energy, we lost inches or whatever it might be. And so it might give them some insight of what it exactly is to join, like what the outcome is, based on what one person's goals are. You obviously know your warm market.
Yeah. Well, and then the other thing is I also have a group of students who've all done like the 21-day fix or Beachbody or something. And then they're like, oh, I had one yesterday tell me I didn't like it because I couldn't add salt to my food. And I was like, what 21-day fix are you doing? Because there's no limit on, like, I mean, I'm not a salt person, but I was like, I haven't seen any limits on it. But then stuff like that, or they'll message me like, oh, cardio fix, such a hard workout. And I'm like, oh, you've done Beachbody? And they're like, yeah, didn't like it. And I'm like, okay, so I don't know how to like reach back out to them or maybe just let that go.
Well, I would be like, what didn't you like about it? And if the one person talked about salt, then you can be like, okay, explain more. Like that's what I do.
That's what I was like, I just cook my recipes and then just like measure stuff out like for me. And because she was saying it was hard like with her kids and stuff. And I'm like, I cook as a family and I just measure my food. Don't worry about my kids and stuff like that. So. And
I found at the beginning too, there was a lot of people that either already had DVDs or Beachbody on demand. Well, at the beginning there wasn't. And I would let them join my group for free as long as they switched over to their coach on their Beachbody account. And then eventually they may have gotten a challenge pack, whether that be Ultimate Portion Fix, they wanted to try Takeology, or they wanted to get on demand because they saw the benefits of what everybody else was experiencing. And so that's an option for you too. You could just say, okay, I'm sorry you had a bad experience. That's not exactly what I had. I would love to join my group with what you already have, just to see what it's like. And if you're someone that you just want to offer them a month free, like join my group for a month and then they have to pay to get in or something like that, you get to decide for a business. But then it gives them a glimpse of what it's like. Because so many people out there, they don't know what it's like in our community. They don't unless we share about it. So that's why you guys see me on my stories sharing more about what it is like in our community, because no one has any idea unless you're in here. And so just offering that to them, that you can just use your DVDs or you can use your current subscription, but you have to change it over to me as your coach, which is a simple form. And so that's what I would do.
So yeah, I like the idea of like the free month and thing, doing that. Cause I do have a lot of people who are like, well, I don't want to spend the money. And I'm like, it's worth it.
Yeah.
If you're doing like, I have one of my friends too, my close friend who I think I've talked to you about, I think she's like on the edge of it. Well, she just told me she's been doing plexus for a while. And I'm like, but she's like, I still have to find my workouts. I'm like, no, this combines it all. It's great. And I even told her I tried it for a while to help with my skin and stuff. And I was like, didn't do much. I was like, I love that this is nutrition, fitness, all in one.
Yeah.
So I'm like, she's like right on the fence. And I like keep messaging her like, hey, Rosie, we need to get together.
And what I do with those people too. Yeah.
So.
And what I do, because I'm having a conversation with someone, she's using Melaleuca, but she's complaining that she is not seeing any results. Like she goes to Orange Theory, so she's just looking for nutrition support. And so I explained to her, I go, why don't you just try it out for 30 days? Because it's a 30-day money-back guarantee. If in 30 days you hate everything, you see no benefit from actually trying it, then you get your money back. So Because I'm like, I told her, insanity means doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. It just means you need to try something different. And I encourage you to try the Shakeology, try the nutrition program in our community, because she already has fitness figured out, and we'll see what happens. And so
yeah,
I haven't
I
heard
always forget about the 30-day money back guarantee. So
I always use a 30-day money back guarantee, because it really truly is risk-free. People can get their money back, which I've had people do that didn't like it. And so they can get their money back if they find no benefit from it. Okay?
Okay. So yeah, I'll try those things though. So
Okay.
keep working.
Yes. All right. Thank you. Cassie, you have to unmute yourself because oh, darn it. There, go ahead.
I did. The message comes up for me to unmute myself or not unmute myself.
Oh, good to know.
Hold on. Copper. Okay. Struggling with inviting in general. I think I'm just struggling with finding what works best for me and what is, I guess, authentic or natural to me, and doesn't feel, I guess, salesy. I haven't listened to the National Wake Up Call from Monday, I think it was, with the guy. So I was going to go back and watch that, because from what Ashley just mentioned, I think that might be a good option for me. So that, I think, is one big thing I'm struggling with inviting. And then just doing the business in general, because the last month I've kind of really scaled back and I haven't been consistent, and I've been struggling to get back on track with everything that we have going on in our life right now. So I'm just trying to figure out, I need to do a time inventory is what I need to do. But inviting wise is just figuring out what is going to work best for me.
Yes. Hold on. Okay, so what, Cassie, you and I are very alike. So I like to time blocking, yes, is or time inventory, figuring that out. But what I have found, especially lately for me, is time blocking, because in my days, like, I barely have. Hold on, I gotta shut this off so my child doesn't escape. In the pockets of my day, and so with this business activity tracker, yeah, it says like 20 minutes to initiate connections and add followers. What I do is like set the timer for 10 minutes and just go. And I find when I have a timer going and I'm doing the task, that I will stay focused on that task, because I have squirrel brain so bad. If I get on Facebook or Instagram and I'm doing one thing, I'll be like, oh, this, and I'll, like, 10 minutes have gone by and I did nothing. And so when I have a timer going, it's the same thing when I'm trying to clean my house, because I cannot start and finish cleaning a room being home all day with my kids. And it drives me nuts. And so I'll take 5 minutes and just, pick up a room, and then I'll go do another room, and it helps so much. And so I did it this week with my business, and I was so productive this week. So productive. And so I encourage you to do that, because you can just break it up into little sections like that. If you get squirrel brain really bad, like not doing a full 20 minutes, okay, I'm going to do 10 minutes here, 10 minutes later, but then you're completing a few things in one time if you have like 30 minutes right at that moment in one of your pockets. And then inviting. So yeah, the National Wake Up Call was really good, but Heather Shipley's was also really good. I'm going to share that, the Beachbody Champions. I'm going to share that in our team page, just so you guys can listen in to see how she does her action hour. If you only had an hour a day, like, this is what she focuses on. And so I think that'll be helpful, just hearing other people's ideas and how you can incorporate, because everybody's not the same, but she works full-time as a professor, as a mom, it's like, it's not like she's just a stay-at-home dog mom or anything like that. So she's a busy woman, and so she started the business in February of 2018, you guys, and in those 11 months, she became a 7-star Diamond Elite team in 11 months. And so it's like, what she's doing is obviously working, but she also invites based on all new followers. I like Ashley's perspective of sending, how she gained from the new National Wake Up Call, sending the new followers a message, just introducing yourself. But Cassie, you have so many followers from when we were using that thing. Like you could just go
Right.
through your people and send them a message thanking them for following you. They might not have any idea they're following you, but now you've started that
Right.
conversation and it might perk their interest. Because guess what? That's what I'm going to do now. And then
Yeah.
you'll see if this person's not my tribe, I'm going to unfollow them if I am following them. Because you really just want to speak to your people.
Yeah.
So hopefully that'll help. I'm going to unmute Ashley because she's
Like over here.
yeah.
So one of the things she talks about, and you'll hear this when Bridget posts it, but she talks about shortcuts. And I was like, what is a shortcut? It's in your iPhone. So like, this is going to sound very awful of me as a wife, but I have a shortcut of ILY when I want to type I love you in all caps to my husband, because we like send a mass or a morning text and I write ILY and it just shoots off you, because that's how lazy I am to not type it out. But the message that I was talking about that I do, hi, I'm Ashley, wife to whatever, that message, I typed that message in my iPhone as a shortcut. And so now all I have to type in is intro and then off it goes. Like it lays the whole text for me, and that saves so much time. So if you're going to do an hour, instead of even copy and pasting, I literally write intro, and it shoots off all these messages. So that to me was a game changer on Thursday when I changed.
Yeah.
For time.
Yeah, because that's one of the things that I find with, I do blocking and I have done timer, but then I'm like, okay, my 20 minutes are up and I feel like I've only like invited or connected with like 3 people. So then I keep going because I don't feel like I've done enough.
Well, that's the thing though. Like just do those 3 people. 3 people is enough. And next time you do it, you'll get better and better and better. Because you got to feel like you're actually accomplishing something. And that's doing a lot of things on the business activity tracker versus one thing. You know what I mean? And so
Yeah.
if it's just 3 people, that's fine. You got to know, just like with the new job, you get better the more you do it. And so just know that that's fine for that 20 minutes. And then, but you should also have a master list or connections thing. Like if you're building your collections, then hopefully you'll continue to improve that and then have more people to invite in that 20 minutes versus just 3 people. But 3 people is good. So don't think of that just like I only invited 3. Like 3 is good. If you're doing 3 a day, that's perfect, whatever it is. And so just know that you'll get better and better the more you do it.
Yeah, I also need to change my perspective because I'm like, I see 3 people, I'm like, that's not enough. But 3 people is better than 0.
And it's because your goals are so big too that you're like, I need to talk to more people because I'm the same way. But I got to remember, like, we all start somewhere, and I'll continue to grow. But connecting with 3 people, yes, is better than none. All right, Crystal.
Morning.
I unmuted you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
So I just rose I wanted to get going because my dog needs a haircut, unfortunately, but I have not, like, I feel a little bit good about this week because I got my first, but I've had like 3 people tell me, yeah, I'm doing it. So I felt like I texted Ashley, she probably is like, I drove her crazy, like 3 times, like, I'm going Emerald. And then so one thing that I've been, and Ashley's like, it's okay, we'll get it. Like she's super positive. I'm excited for you. One thing I want to let everybody know that I know that myself is really just like, I'm doing this for me. And yes, I want to grow my business, but it's going to take time. So not getting myself down about people not joining me. I have not done any cold market. I don't feel comfortable with it yet because I still feel like I'm so new into it that I still am working a little on my warm market. And maybe in a couple weeks, once my first challenge group that starts tomorrow gets going, and I just feel a little more comfortable reaching out to people I don't know. I would say that posting the little clips that I have striked interest, and from people who I'm shocked about. But I do get a lot of, oh, I've done Beachbody, or, oh, I know I've done this thing and it tells me about vegetables. And I just circle around with, you know what, if what you're doing is working, great. And if it doesn't, just, I'm here if you're interested in trying this. And it's funny because everybody who tells me that, they're reaching out because it's not working. because otherwise if it was working, they wouldn't be reaching out, right? So I have a feeling a lot of these interests will circle around, and just staying really super positive about it. So I appreciate what everybody's doing and all the little bit of advice.
You're doing awesome, Crystal, and I agree. Like I am still the same way. Like when someone tells me they're doing something, I'm like, that is great, keep it up, because I am all about people leading an active lifestyle and eating right. And so if they have something that's working for them, amazing. What we do doesn't, like, it's not meant for everyone, and that's okay. But yeah, these people are talking to you and they're perking interest because what they might be doing is not working. But that's a perfect thing. They just on your piece of paper. And next month or in 2 weeks, you can follow up with them and just say, how is it going? You know, like, how is whatever you're doing? And if you have people that say Beachbody didn't work for them, just say, share your experience with me, because maybe they didn't have the community of support. Maybe they didn't. Most people, you'll find that they just weren't doing it, you know, or doing it right, or they didn't try Shakeology, whatever it may be. And so explaining to them your experience, but then also obviously a 30-day money back guarantee, they still get that even if they've tried it previously. I've had one woman that had ordered twice and got it back twice. I was so frustrated. I know. And so, but just know that, like, having conversations with them and then following up with the next month before you have a next group. Follow-up is huge, you guys. The fortune is in the follow-up. When you have that initial conversation, most people will not join at the initial conversation. Most people. It's very rare. And so following up with them each and every month after that, like April, my other coach down there, April, I mean, she's been following me since the very beginning. So is Ashley, and it's like, it's taken them two and a half years to join me. And so people are watching, they are, and it'll just be a matter of time before they actually need the same tools and resources that have helped you.
Absolutely. Well, thank you guys. I got to run because my dog, so we'll
have
see
fun.
you guys later.
Yep.
Bye.
And April.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
Sorry, I've been running around. We're leaving for a lacrosse tournament.
That's okay.
So I also listened to David Atkins this week, and he had a great routine of inviting that I would like to adopt. So, and I am doing that this week. So I've been, looking at all my followers and likes that I'm gaining, and I don't get a lot of, I think more people like my stuff, but don't follow me. So I have been still doing the message like, hi, my name's April. My husband and I plug in his little Instagram handle, just like David does for his wife. And then I said, we live here in Minnesota with our 3 kids, and, we're busy on the go. And then that, what do you do is a little tricky, because usually their Instagram profile says what they do. But I got a lot of response from that. So like Ashley said, I'm just writing down like who I'm talking to and kind of putting a star by who actually responded to me. And then I put a reminder on my phone next week to, second follow up with group 1 or something like that. So that'll be like Tuesday, because I talked to most of the people, they wrote back by Tuesday. So I'm going to do that and try that. And then I listened to Amber yesterday and how her, how she, the first couple weeks she talks about the fitness, and then she goes into the next 2 weeks, she shifts into nutrition. So I'm going to really kind of focus on that in my stories and in my posts. So, and that was really helpful too. Because I had been struggling with like, how do I get organized? I don't know how to do this. I started doing the, where you would follow people and then put them into like little groups and like saves. And I was like, I don't know what I'm doing here. Like I couldn't wrap my head around it. So I'm going to really do like the David Atkins method, and then kind of go along with stories and stuff like Amber did. So that's kind of where I'm going to get going. When I started that this week, and let's see here, with Warm Market, I feel like I get a really good response from people. They're all excited. Like I've had so many like women, like maybe 5 or 6, say, oh my gosh, I need to do this. I've only been doing this. I want to do more. I have kids, like kind of like the same thing that, we're all kind of in. And then I'm like, oh, that's wonderful. Can I send you more information? I'll get their email. I'll send them like, like our template of a generic message and kind of tailor it to what I know about them. And then it's like crickets. Nobody like responds back, and I'll follow up with them and still like it's like they ignore you. Like, oh, I know what she's doing now. I don't, and I've gotten like, oh, I can't afford that right now. At least somebody writes back, right? So I get that a lot from my warm market. So that's frustrating just because it's like they do know me and we do have a connection, and it's just been, yeah, that's frustrating. So, and then I'm just kind of getting going on the cold market stuff. So, and like getting responses from people.
Yeah, and don't think you're the only one that once you send the information, you get ghosted, because that happens all the time. And it's just one of those things, you're like, know what you're doing now. They're like, okay, and they're just going to continue to watch until they feel like they need the tools and resources. But I would always follow up after 2 days of sending the info. And then I follow up right before the group starts, if it is somewhere close, sometimes even right before Take Back the Kitchen goes out, because I'm like, I would love to include you on this, especially if they were someone that said they would love Take Back the Kitchen. And then if I still don't hear anything, I just follow up again a month later, and just, every single month until they literally say, leave me the heck alone, which has never happened. So I just continue to follow up with them, because you guys, it's true. Like I've had people that have thanked me so much for following up with them. Like Angela did not join me right away, and so I constantly always followed up with her, like, I have another group starting, you want to join? And stuff. And eventually it was her time, and she did join. So it's just one of those things, like the timing is just not right for them, but continue to just care about them, and invite them when you have another group starting, and when they feel like they are at that point that they need it, they will join. So just know that.
Okay.
All right. So we went through everyone. So that's awesome, guys. Thank you for sharing that. Like I stated, though, like inviting is what's going to move your business forward and help. And just having conversations, constantly having conversations to be able to have those people to invite is crucial too. So if you're watching the recording, send me a message, ask any questions below, and I'll be happy to answer them. But you guys have an amazing Saturday. And thank you for hopping on, and we'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.